In this video, I'll demonstrate how to configure a router ACL rule. ACL stands for Access Control List, and on a router, it essentially either permits or denies traffic into or out of a specific router interface. So essentially, it's traffic filtering, kind of like a packet filtering firewall. In our diagram, we can see on the left that we've got a client PC that needs to go through a router here called router 1 in order to access our HTTP web server over here on the right, which has a DNS name of server.example.com. So in our diagram, the first thing we'll do is click on our client PC. Now this is a simulator, so in the simulator here, I'm going to go to the desktop tab and click on command prompt. The first thing we're going to do is make sure that we've got any type of connectivity at all. So I'm going to try to ping our web server by name. I'm going to type ping server.example.com. So we can see that DNS resolved server.example.com to the IP address of 10.4.0.3, and of course, we've got a number of replies. So we know that ICMP network traffic is working through router 1 because we're getting these replies back. What we're going to do in our example is configure an ACL rule on router 1 that doesn't allow ICMP traffic, but we still want to be able to connect to our web server. So to begin this, if I were to take a look by simply hovering over router 1 in my diagram, it will pop up and give me a little bit of details about some of the network interfaces, which I could also click on the router to see as well. For example, fast Ethernet 0/0, we can see that interface here. This is the one that we're going to be using to control traffic coming in from the PC on the left. Basically, we want to block ICMP traffic. So what we're going to do is click right on the router in the simulator and click the CLI tab. CLI stands for Command Line Interface. So now what we're going to do is make sure that we configure an access list to basically deny ICMP and allow all other IP traffic. To do that, I'll type access-list 101. That's the number. I'm denying ICMP from anywhere to anywhere. So I want to block all ICMP. At the same time, I'm going to use the access list command again, access list 101, but this time I'm going to permit IP traffic. So from anywhere to anywhere. So of course, ICMP and IP are completely different protocols. Next thing I want to do is go into the configuration of the appropriate network interface I want to apply those rules to. So I'll type interface. Now fast Ethernet or FA0/0 is what I want to connect to. So my prompt now implies with the IF command for interface that I'm now configuring that specific interface. Okay, that's great because now I want to use the IP access group command, specify the number of my access list, 101, and tell it that I want it to bind to this network interface for inbound traffic, so in. Now at this point, it should be ready to go, and what that means is that ICMP traffic should not be allowed, but all other IP traffic should be. Now in a production environment, first of all, you'd probably be sitting at a station using PuTTY or some other remote tool to SSH into your router. Secondly, don't turn off ICMP as we've done in this example unless you're absolutely sure it isn't required by something in your network environment. So let's go ahead and test this. I'm going to click the client PC in our simulator over on the left, and I'm going to run a command prompt. So first thing I'll do is try to ping server.example.com once again. However, notice this time that we get a destination host unreachable, where previously we were getting replies. Now, the only thing that's changed here is that our router ACL doesn't allow ICMP. So that appears to be working. However, do we have any other type of connectivity through router 1? So to test that, I'm going to start a web browser on our PC in our simulator, and we're going to see if we can connect to server.example.com over HTTP because it is our web server. And sure enough, the sample page popped up where we can see the blue text with the name of the server. So we know that we've still got HTTP traffic, but we don't have ICMP connectivity through router 1. In this video, we learned how to configure router ACL rules.